Welcome back to Wayne TV. I'm Joel Gilley. We have some very special friends with us today. Sherry is, of course, here just about all the time with us.
I feel like it. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm. Hello,
It's okay.
This is my show. No,
It's
I'm
okay.
Sorry. A little too often.
Sherry,
I'm happy to be here today.
you're at a little bit different role today.
Yes, different hat. I am a committee member for Literacy Connections of Wayne County on their big event, their annual event, Reading Between the Wines.
Absolutely. And we don't see so often.
No, you
Only
don't.
about like once a year.
Yeah.
Typically
She's
when-
running Reading Between the Wines
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Literacy Connections. And
Yeah.
Yes.
So go ahead and tell everybody who you are.
Yeah, I'm Susie Akery, so I'm glad to be here with you today to share about our exciting event coming up, Reading Between the Wines.
So it's, of course, COVID got a little bit of weirdness there with Reading Between the Lines.
Yes.
But we're back in person this year, right?
Thank goodness. It's so exciting to be planning an event where we can be face to face again. Yeah.
Absolutely. So go ahead and tell everybody what Reading Between the Wines is.
So Reading Between the Wines is an annual fundraiser for Literacy Connections, the Adult Literacy Council in Wayne County. And this event brings together some of your favorite things. We always bring a North Carolina author or somebody who's written about North Carolina, so it's near and dear to our hearts. And we bring together food from local gourmets who you may not have been able to taste because they're not out of a restaurant.
Yeah.
And wine, of course. Health Habit brings us wine, as the name, Reading Between the Wines.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It combines
so it's
three great things.
It does, and it's an intimate evening. It's
Yep.
it's usually where you can get up close and personal with the author, ask him the questions or her the questions that you've had from reading the book, and just learn and fellowship together.
You did an incredible job keeping your thoughts straight with the F-15s flying in the background.
Right,
I'm
I
sure
know,
everyone at
and
home
all the
could
bright
hear that too.
lights.
That was really loud outside. So I want you to also talk about Literacy Connections. So of course this is a benefit for Literacy Connections,
Yes.
and people might have heard of Literacy Connections, but you guys do some really awesome work. So tell us about Literacy Connections and what this kind of goes to benefit.
Sure, absolutely. So Literacy Connections, as I said, is the Adult Literacy Council. And when I say that, sometimes people don't know what that means. We're basically working with adults in our community all across Wayne County who don't read well and would like to change that. They may have goals of getting their GED, or it may just be a personal goal of reading to grandchildren or being able to participate reading the Bible in church.
Yeah.
All of those things are what we're there for, to help them grow in their education and help them reach their goals.
You know, it's something that I take for granted, right? That I know how to read and write.
Right.
But there are people in our community that need help.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I think it's so cool that you're a resource that people can get connected to and more people need to know about. And that's just one benefit of this
It
program.
really is. And if I can put on my United Way hat a little bit.
Yeah.
Literacy Connections and Adult Literacy is one of the programs that we fund, that we help to fund. But it's such a pleasure to partner with them. But it was so exciting. I just left a major investor that I was meeting with, and she was at our training that we had at the kickoff, and she said, I was so excited. I did not realize, this is someone who's lived here a long time.
Yeah.
Did not realize that we had an adult literacy program. And so she went back to her place of employment that has more than 500 employees there.
Wow.
And said to her assistant, who knows that there are people there that do not read well or do not know how to read and
Yeah.
would really like to be able to take advantage of this. So there's a lot of people that don't realize that we have this wonderful resource here in Wayne County.
Absolutely. And it's free.
It's absolutely
That's the best
free
part.
because we have wonderful funders like
Exactly.
United Way supporting
Exactly.
us. Yeah.
And I mean, that's one thing, and we're kind of getting off topic on Literacy Connections, but I do think that's one thing that's so important to know, that this is how you help Literacy Connections, are events like this.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
So tell us about our author this year.
Absolutely, yeah. So our author this year is Wiley Cash. Wiley Cash is a North Carolina author. He resides in Wilmington, but he's also a in residence teaching out at UNC Asheboro.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So he's getting around doing other things as well. He's written 4 books now, and some people may remember that we had him one of our very first Reading Between the Lines,
Yeah.
maybe the second one, where he had just written his first book.
That's
so this will be
cool.
really great
Gotten
to
him
bring
back
him
now.
back. Yes, and so the book that he'll be primarily talking about is When Ghosts Come Home, which is a very interesting mystery tale that
Okay.
takes place in North Carolina.
That's really fun. So for people who have never been to Reading Between the Wines, tell us about the event. So do they need to have this book read before they come?
No.
They do not.
Okay. So there's no homework ahead of time.
No homework
And they could
ahead
get
of
a
time.
book there if they
Okay.
want. And then of course get it signed, or they could bring their book and have it signed. But it's such a lovely event. it's been very often at someone's home who's
Yeah.
allowed us to come into their home and have a small group. It's gotten larger. I think we probably started with maybe 40 or 50 people, and we wanted it to be that intimate feel.
Yeah.
But there's just such a huge desire, and we wanted to open it up a little larger, so it's kind of expanded to where while we might be using the person's home, we still are outside.
Yeah.
This year is really a neat mix. So we're going to be at the Maxwell Family Farm.
Yes.
And so beautiful outdoor, but also the capabilities to be inside or to be sheltered,
Mhm.
but still, to be able to have lots of space. It's just so nice. And the food is amazing. To have the local chefs, not from a restaurant, but these folks who just really have a love for it,
Yeah.
to make something really special to them, and they're doing it because they love this event,
Yeah.
and they love, and they're just very dedicated to the organization. So it's always a lot of fun.
Speaking of food, we should tempt everyone's taste
I
buds
saw
a
you getting the
little
notes
bit.
out over there with the menu.
I have to, absolutely. So how about some shaved country ham rolls, some bite-sized ham and Gruyere quiche,
Okay.
dark chocolate truffles, bite-sized brownies, mini tartlets with a variety of fruit curds, deviled eggs, cheese straws. I mean, now we're talking not anybody's cheese straws. These are
Deviled eggs too. I mean,
Oh
such a
my
staple
goodness.
for North
I-
Carolina, right?
Right, I
Gotta have
know. Yes, a lot of southern favorites. We got roasted veggies and hummus if people don't care for food that has meat
Yeah.
in it. Dilly cucumber bites. There are a lot of great mixture
sounds
there
delicious.
of fabulous food. So we say hors d'oeuvres, Joel.
Yeah, but that's heavy hors d'oeuvres.
People do not leave there hungry.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, we've
yeah.
had people come and say they were going to go out to dinner after.
Nah.
No, you don't need to
Cancel
go
the
out to dinner
reservation.
after,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
I gotcha.
Yes. And then, of course, Health Habit. Bob and Susan Crenshaw have been with us right from year 2 on, and we won't talk about year 1 where we got in trouble for bringing two buck chuck, is that what it's called?
Okay.
Yeah, by one of our gourmets say, you do not serve two buck chuck at these kinds of
Yeah.
events. So Bob and Susan saved us, and ever since we've had them come out and
Yeah.
serve
Do the pairings for
Really
you.
the
Nice one.
pairings.
Yeah.
Yes. So
That's awesome. So tell us when the event is.
October the 1st.
Okay.
So it's Saturday, October the 1st at 5:30, and there's plenty of parking, but also, I mean, we'll make sure that if there is any distance, we'll have a golf cart there
Yeah.
if anyone
Yes.
needs it. But lots of, if there's any handicap needs, we'll be able to provide accessibility for that. So
Great.
it'll be a beautiful event.
And where do people need to go to buy their tickets?
So they'll go to our website,
Okay.
literacyconnectionsofwaynecounty.org, and it's very obvious right on there. You'll see Reading
Perfect.
Between the Ones featured right now, and you can click through. I do want to add about the music this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we will have,
It's so cute.
yeah, her name is Kate Oliphant, and she runs a music studio called Happy Tales Music in
Okay.
Winterville, and where her dogs are in there with the music lessons, thus the name Happy Tales. But she has become highly recommended by a friend of ours at the library who has fellow musicians. They work together.
Yeah.
And she'll be playing guitar.
Nice.
So we thought, being out on an equestrian farm with the horses around us, it's a little more casual this year.
Yep.
And having somebody on the guitar.
Guitar, a little wine, little little
Yeah.
food.
And so when we were talking with her, what should the genre be in guitar music? I wasn't quite sure how to navigate that, and tried to communicate that with her. And she says, I think that if we have classic music with some pop and classic rock in
I like it.
there,
Oh.
Yeah. I like it.
everyone would be like, oh, I know that song,
Yeah.
sing along kind
Yeah.
of mood. So I
Uh-huh.
think it'll be a really fun evening.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
nice.
absolutely.
Tickets are $75,
Mm-hmm.
and they can get them on the website. If they have questions, they can also call Literacy Connections.
Yes,
And you can Google that number.
right?
Well, you could probably give it out. You probably know it by
919-735-1990.
heart.
And also, they can buy them at the event.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
And it's $75 a person.
Yes.
Okay. So if you're a couple, you gotta have 2 tickets. And again, all the information about this is on the Literacy Connections website. So anything else about the event we need to talk about?
That covers it.
I
Awesome.
think that's great. Just
Well,
come on out and join us.
Yeah, it's going to be another great event. And if you see the poster, that I saw it on the Facebook page
Yes.
earlier. I mean, you can see a picture of the farm there. It's an absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful
It's
farm.
gorgeous.
And it's going to be a really cool evening with a local author,
Yes.
a little bit of local food, and some good wine. So
Yes. And the event is 978 Ditch Bank Road.
okay, it's good to know.
Just in case anybody needs to come on out and
Yeah,
find it
that's
and
very
buy their
good to know.
tickets there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, thank y'all so much for coming
Thank
by.
you.
And
Thank you.
good luck on another successful reading Between the Wines.
We're
We're happy
excited.
that it's back in person this year.
Yay.
And go ahead and get your tickets now. You can wait and get them at the door if you want to, but we urge you to get them in advance so that you make sure you got a spot for it. So
Absolutely.
we'll see you again next time right here on Wayne TV.